Welcome to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, MNH Tires, and thefolk.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex Roggio, Bob Beck, Bryant Layton, with Donnie Couch and Dar Hawthorne.
And here we go. Welcome, everyone, to Speed Scene Live, broadcasting live on a Tuesday night. Let's see, who's on assignment tonight? That would be Lucky Hudson. That would be Diana Might. However, in studio after a long absence is Alex, the car girl, Roggio.
Nice to be back.
Oh, I know, and there's going to be so many adventures to catch up on. Bob Beck is in studio tonight. Hot Rod Bob has got it all lined up for some really, really fun stuff as we take a look back.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so we're going to do that too. Hey, you know what? Guys, this seemed like an appropriate way to kick off tonight's show. Take a listen to this.
Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner
That's a way to open up the show.
That is a
I'll
way
tell
to
you what.
open
There
up
we
the
go.
show.
And you were up in Vegas for this, right, Alex?
Yeah, that was Vegas at the Streetcar Super Nationals race, which is an absolute blast. As I mentioned earlier in the year, this was the first time that they included the street muscle class in the list of classes that you could run. I mean, there's Outlaw Pro Mods. Troy Coughlin won the event. But it's a crazy schedule. I mean, the singing national anthem takes place just before they start the Outlaw Pro Mod class. I've already had my first 2 eliminations. I've got to run to my car after I race, practice warming up. You know, it's an insane thing. But
so
typical Vegas.
Awesome.
Yeah, typical Vegas.
Yeah.
Do you actually do? Have you ever sung before while in your fire suit?
Oh yeah, I'm wearing it. It's just tied on my waist, so you just can't see it in the shot. But
Now, what hours did they race? Because Vegas has a history or is known for running their rounds late.
That's more of a summer schedule. In the winter, they do, typical. Unfortunately, it's 7 o'clock call to the lanes sort of thing, which means a 5 a.m. wake up for me. It's early, but it's I like it better than night racing, I think.
Well, I wonder if we can thank daylight savings time for that.
No. No, I wouldn't thank it for any. No.
Yeah, all right. Well, there's got to be a reason, man.
There is a reason.
Yeah.
It's 200-degree temperatures in Vegas.
Oh yeah. Well, there
It's
is that.
Close.
You don't have to do a burnout
It's
to get the
close.
tires warm. It's just naturally that way.
They are just sticky sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Good.
Hey, speaking of tires and things that go fast, let's take a look at this.
There's
That
Alex.
is Alex's car, obviously. And you can see some of the titling at the top here.
It's an 89.
Here we go. As you can see, here's
Slow
the
motion
slow-mo
was in the
version.
front. Yeah, the front wheels
Oh, there
off
we
the
go.
ground. Yeah. 2 inches, but they're off the ground.
Yep. Okay. Just so you guys know.
Are you up against Lucky in that one?
No, it looks just like Lucky's car. I
know.
almost thought it was him until I saw the driver get out and it wasn't him. But very similar paint job. I think it's the same year Nova. I think.
Yeah, it looks. It was a Nova.
That is pretty weird. Look at that.
Yeah.
It looks
Really
like
weird,
his
right?
car.
Now, Lucky's car's got the black
It
flames.
just doesn't say Curry on the side.
No,
That's
it
how
says
I
something.
know.
It's moving too quickly, but yeah.
Wow, how about that? So, the big reason to show this video is you got the
Yes.
wheels off the ground on the Magnum.
And the reason that it's such a big deal, people, it's a drag race car. Wheels come off the ground all the time. However, this car weighs 43 20 on the scales with me and fuel in it at this very point on this run. So, I mean, kudos to my crew chief, Richard, for setting the car up so amazingly well. He spent so much time and effort figuring out how to get that car to launch, and he did a great job, and I think we figured it out.
You get your driveline issues taken care of?
I think so.
Good.
I think so.
Well, that is amazing. You know, last weekend we were shooting a short film with that blue and white 58 Skyliner that's parked in the neighborhood out here. And that is a 4,000-pound car. Although with the rust, I guess it's more like 3,900.
Yeah, it's got factory lightning.
Yeah. They drilled holes in places where, you're only supposed to have, like, patterns of holes, not just random holes.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, it did not launch that well.
No.
Part of the filming was to take the car off, the driver's in a huff and going, oh yeah, well, I'm out of here, baby, and it just goes because
something about 1/3 the horsepower of what Alex's car has.
Something about
that was
something
one of his
like
new.
that.
Yeah, it is. It's not a Hemi.
No,
but it is it's a 58 engine, so I'm not going to whine about it too bad because it still works.
That's right. It starts.
Still runs.
It runs.
Hey, you know what? Let's take a look at a couple of more images here. Alex, can you guide us through a couple of things that we're going to be seeing here?
Sure. Oh, that's a cool shot, isn't it?
That is pretty neat. Thanks, Richard. I guess.
Yeah, Richard, of course. This is a shot of Mikey Garcia, who is a now super featherweight world champion boxer. This was a media day in, I believe it was Ventura that this happened. We got to see him sparring and doing some fighting, and this is just we were also able to vendor at the event, and that's a shot of our little sales team there.
Richard, Lyle, and yourself.
That's right. Lyle Larson, our new director of sales. Thank you, Lyle.
So the event itself was kind of like so the public could stop by and watch the sparring?
Exactly, because the fight takes place in Texas, and his hometown is much more close. He lives in Riverside, I believe, so it's just a chance for his family and of his fans to see him in person before he actually does his fight, which was broadcast on HBO.
And he's becoming a car guy.
He is.
He was at Irwindale driving his Challenger.
Right, that's right. You met him.
Yeah, I met him. He came up to Irwindale, was playing, and if memory serves me, he has a supercharger on that as well.
That's right. He has a Magnuson supercharger. He has I can't remember the year, but it's a blue SRT8 Challenger supercharged by Magnuson. That's a shot of us standing
ringside
watching the. Yep. I mean, it's unbelievable to see. I've never watched boxing in real life before, and what's amazing is to hear the sound of to see and then hear how hard he's hitting, because on TV you can't really tell, but it's just I was blown away. It's very inspiring, and these people are true athletes.
So you mean it's like some of the TV is just full of punch sound effects.
Sound effects.
Yeah. So, but you're actually hearing this happen.
Oh yeah, you can definitely hear the force and the speed that he puts behind each one of those punches. This is a shot of us trading signed shirts.
Nice.
Because Richard and I made our new team shirts, which are covered in logos of our partners and everything. And he's got his own shirts, and we were signing each other's and then trading off. So
it sounds fair.
He's a really, really nice guy.
Yeah. By the way, you'll have to squint there, but right on the shirt that you're writing on, Alex,
Speed Scene Live.
That's right, Speed Scene Live.
That's
in fact,
right.
Is that
I'm wearing it right now.
Wait, let's take a look at that.
Okay, so
there,
see?
yeah, it's down there.
Right there.
Okay, and your car is on the back of that shirt.
I guess I need to.
You need to move around.
I know we
See if
didn't
I can
adjust
do
lighting
it.
for this.
You can.
So,
Look at that. There's the
There.
Magnum Man.
this,
Wow.
I know. It's the coolest thing ever. We were waiting for a while. There's more shots of the shirts and the photos that you're about to show too.
Excellent. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yep.
So now you have the shirt that he signed.
I do.
What happens when he becomes world champion featherweight or whatever class?
You know what?
he's in?
He just actually had his fight on November 9th, I believe, and he won.
Good.
I think it was an 8-round by knockout, I believe.
Yeah, if it
I
only
didn't
went
quite
8,
see it the whole thing, but it was insane. Yeah, he's now champion.
And he's really a humble guy. He's nice. He's friendly. He's not an assertive person.
Right.
Unless his fists are in the glove.
Unless he's in the ring.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch the transformation, see him.
Yeah.
Yes, you got to be assertive at that point.
At that
You
point, you
better
must be,
be.
yes.
You kind of have to have that personality to do that well. But he's got incredible focus when he gets in the ring. It's amazing to see.
Nice. Hey, I know we got some special guests coming up, but
Yes,
we wanted
we
to
do.
catch you up a little bit on what Alex has been doing. So here you are in what sunny locale?
Oh, that must be Las Vegas. I
Yeah.
can't imagine it's anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's probably getting ready for an upcoming round. I believe that's. Oh,
Yep,
I know.
it is
That
Las
was.
There we go.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was us packing up at the end of a race weekend. It's always, quite the. We have to do a lot to pack up the car.
Yes,
and-
I can
Wait a
see.
minute. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
this is at a location called Valley of Fire, which is on the northern part of Vegas. It's about
Area
45
51.
minutes. Oh, yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. This was just an extra shot from one of the photo shoots that we had.
Well, that's really nice, though. At sunset, you can get the mountains lit up behind you, and that's
Yeah.
that's a very cool image there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's
There's
another,
the car. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, let me look. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is anybody looking at the car? Tell us about your singing, Alex. You started off the show singing, but
Yes.
people don't perhaps realize that you are not just a multi-talented driver and co-host of Speed
Entrepreneur.
Scene Live.
Right.
Yeah, entrepreneur. But what are you pursuing singing? In any big sense, or what's all that about?
Good question. I sort of work every avenue I can that helps me advance my career in racing and journalism and modeling. And I was trained in theater. I went to school for theater. I've been singing since I was, 12. I'm not, it's not my main focus.
Yeah.
But I know that it's a great way to expand my marketing and help people, get to know who I am. And I mean, I'd love to help people out. Like I helped Mel out by singing the national anthem at PSCA races, and everyone seems to like it. So
Do you do that often?
I do it for every PSCA race and Streetcar Super Nationals, and I'll be doing it for the Mopars at the Strip race coming up in April, I believe.
April. I may have to drive up there for that.
It's
Might
fun.
have to.
It's a great race.
Bring my Mopar up. It definitely looks like a Mopar engine almost now.
Well, is that because of the custom valve covers that you're saying?
Yes,
You are so
yes.
sneaky, man.
little Eli.
Yeah, I'll never tell. Oh, wait, I almost did.
Uh-oh.
Hey, you know what? Here's
Yes.
what I'm going to suggest.
What
What
are
if
you
we
gonna
take
do?
a quick commercial break?
We can
We've
do
got
that.
some special guests, and
Yes.
Bob, you brought them in, and we've got a whole lot of ground to cover.
That we do.
And, in fact, I'm not even sure where that phrase comes from, because, ground to cover implies that we're, like, rolling around in it or something. And maybe we will.
We will be later.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
could be.
we are just getting started. It's Speed Scene Live. Thanks for joining us. Lots more to come right here.
Hi, I'm Les Morris, and I'm watching the fastest show on the internet, Speed Scene Live.
For over half a century, Curry rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Curry lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Curry gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Curry expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Curry's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Curry Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Curry rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at curryenterprises.com.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's all-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all, and every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, We build all American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
Welcome back to more of Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, MNH Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, and TheFote.com.
All right, welcome back to Speed Scene Live. I'm Hot Rod Bob Beck. Along with us tonight is Alex the Car Girl Rogio.
Hello.
And the always lovely Bruce Parker.
Lovely. Hey, speaking of lovely,
Yes,
Bob,
yes.
you might have been debuting this tonight, and I'm probably just going to break all the rules. I've just been handed the official Great American Auto Scene sticker, and this thing is just the coolest.
It is.
Yeah, it's not pink. It actually is
No,
red.
it's red.
That's right. This camera
Right.
is not representing,
No,
as they say
and I'll tell you
downtown.
what. If you want one of these stickers, get a self-addressed stamped envelope here to the studio,
Yeah.
and I'll send them out.
Okay.
All right, I just had them printed up. I just had them made up. Got them just a couple of days ago from American Pin Co. I thank them again. They got me some great stickers, and we'll send them out to those people. I've already got the artwork posted on the Facebook page. You can check it out at G period, and it's got to be capitals, capital G period, A period, A period, S period
See,
on Facebook.
I didn't think all those periods actually worked on Facebook. I thought you couldn't use those, but you...
Well, I actually had to because there was something else called gas as well, but it had nothing to do with cars.
some
So I put the
lesser
periods in
entity.
there, yeah. So we did it, we got it, and but that's the new one. I've got. I'm going to have some special shirts made up so I can wear my shirts with them on theirs too.
Yes. Oh, that looks fabulous.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cool.
yeah, we got it.
Hey, so what's going on tonight, Bob? The Great American Auto Scene, a special edition tonight.
Special edition, and again, I'm Bob Beck, as you already know, and you've got gas here on Speed Scene Live. Tonight, we're going to go over the origins of one of the oldest car clubs in Southern California, and it's going strong still today. It's the Trompers of Eagle Rock, and they just came out with their own book
Cool.
that tells you
Wow.
all about them, and it's chock full of special pictures, and I mean original pictures of the club as it began back in 1945. With us tonight, we've got a past president, Al Reyes. Smile, Al.
Hello, everybody.
Now, he's got the distinction that he drives the world's fastest helm truck.
Wait a minute.
And we may have a picture of it to show you a little bit later
You're talking
on.
about Helm's Bakery.
Helm's Bakery. If you're from Southern California, do you remember the Helm's Bakery trucks delivering donuts and pastries? You pulled out the drawers. Well, the drawers are gone, but the truck is still there. And we'll tell you about it in just a little bit.
Boy, oh,
Alongside him, someone I've known for, close to 30 years. Well, 30 years. And we worked together for one of the leading manufacturers, automobile manufacturers. I know him as Eli, but Rex Jaramillo. And, he's got the distinction. He is a movie star as well.
Oh,
He had a significant speaking part in the movie Deuce of Spades.
That's right.
the one that we
The one that we
about
talked
months
to
ago.
Faith about, yes.
Oh man, that was some beautiful footage too. Have you actually? I have not seen Deuce of Spades yet.
Yeah.
I've got to watch it.
You got to watch it.
Yeah.
You got to watch it. It's a good movie, and but that's not what we're here about. We're here about the Trompers.
All right,
And
because I was going to start asking Rex about, hey, was there trouble memorizing the lines and stuff, dude?
Not his lines, no. He's used those lines in many a bar. Actually, no.
Those lines.
Yeah, those lines. Anyway, Al,
Yes.
you came up with the idea for this book, I believe.
Well, I wanted to redo a book that they did 5 years before this, and we updated it, but we also kept the front of the book original to the book that it was.
Okay.
Because the club started in 1945, and we have a couple of the original members. One is very active still.
Yeah.
By the name of Don Zabel, and he'll be doing a book signing coming up in the near future. We'll talk about that more later, I guess.
Yes, we will.
But in this picture that's being shown right now, he's the third one from the left, and third one over from the left.
There he is.
And
He's in front of the Roadster.
Yes,
Yep.
and this is out. He was used to race out in El Mirage, 8 cars wide. He tells a lot of stories about
8 cars wide.
very dangerous, and they didn't have roll bars, and they didn't have helmets, and they didn't have seat belts. He was pretty wild then, and he still does pretty good in his early 90s.
Early 90s. Now,
Yes.
we talk about, everyone talks about the NHRA 4 wide as being something innovative.
Right.
And it's old school. It's just got new cars.
Yeah, they had 8 wide.
Yeah,
first.
they had 8 wide. Now, and NHRA's taken it a step further. They've put guardrails between the cars. These guys didn't run guardrails. They barely ran. I mean, there was air in the tires. That was a safety feature.
Well, there's no seat belts either.
Now, the club started in 1945. And we've got a picture. Here's the guys working on a car with a cop watching closely back in the day.
That is funny. Look at that.
Yeah. Now, from what I understand, this guy was a friendly cop. He would come over and talk to the guys occasionally.
So, how you fellas doing?
According to the book, yeah. And but you had a lot of cops that were hot rods. Now, this is John, and his last name was Gunderson. He was the founder of the club, wasn't he?
That's correct.
And as with many hot rodders in Southern California, returning from the war, they took out their cars. They had them when they were in high school or started getting them when they came back. And hot rodding was not drag racing, much like we think it is today. It was El Mirage and Bonneville. It was speed contests, but top speed.
Right, yeah, so you weren't getting it in a short space. It was much longer. You had to work up to it.
It was top speed.
Yeah.
And Trompers were a member of Southern California Timing Association, SCTA, correct now?
Yes.
That's correct. And we still have a, what's his name, that works out there at the Bonneville Salt Flats for safety and stuff.
Jim, I can't remember his last name.
Miller?
But
Good old
Miller.
Jim.
Jim Miller still works out there at Bonneville and is very active with the Timing Association. And we always say hello to him when we're out there and hang out with him.
Now, you guys have a rich heritage and history. The club started in 1945. With how many members?
Gee whiz,
About 7 or 8 initially, and one of the reasons for starting was because they wanted to race on the dry lakes, and it's my understanding that they had to in order to participate, they had to be members of SCTA.
Right.
And so they, did whatever it took to get into the SCTA so they could race on the, just out, basically Mirage at the time and El Mirage and so forth. So
we call it racing, and they still call it racing, but today it is one car at a time. You're not running multiples. It's not a drag race for 2 miles. And El Mirage runs just over 1.5 miles, doesn't it, for your top speed?
I believe it is, and then they got the traps. But one thing, interesting story, and you probably heard this before, how I think it was Don Zabel told me that they used to rope their steering wheels all the way to the left or right to get sleep. Basically, they'd sleep in the cars, and they'd turn their headlights on, and they just circle on the dry lakes there so they get some sleep. And the reason they did that was it was a safety issue. A lot of guys were hurt because there were no
getting run over.
Yeah. But SCTA did a lot to eradicate that situation. But a lot of
hit
stuff
at night.
like that.
Guys screwing around at night, driving the cars at night. You're sleeping on the side of there's no trees, there's no landmarks.
That's right.
It's just flat land. And to give you an idea, El Mirage was used as a landing field before Edwards Air Force Base was actually built.
It's kind of in the same vicinity, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and parts of it are on the military base property. So, and they actually, but it was about 10 years ago, they actually did an event at Edwards Air Force Base. So that whole area, it's over by Palmdale Airport and Edwards Air Force Base out in that area. It's very flat, and for as far as the eye can see, there's miles and miles. For miles and miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that because I actually that was one of the first things I ever did in the Magnum was take it to El Mirage, and I remember we got the car up to 170, I believe.
Wow.
Stock, and it was so unbelievably dusty. We spent a year getting all the dust out of the cracks and crevices of the car. It's unbelievable. That's my memory of El Mirage.
We got some beautiful photos here of Bonneville, and this gives you an idea of the types of cars today that run Bonneville. They're very purpose-built vehicles.
Yeah.
Now, you were members of your club was a club member of SCTA, which was made up of a number of different clubs. But at that point in time, the belly tanks were just coming on, but most of what was run were roadsters.
Yes.
And your club was basically roadsters. Now, you also had another unique thing when the club started up. And in the first picture, we saw the derbies.
Yes.
Trompers wore derby hats that said Trompers on them, and we still, as members, a lot of us have the hats with the Tromper emblem on them. And
Yeah, see, you wear yours quite a bit.
yes, I do, and we wear them proudly. We enjoy. It's a great group of guys that just love to have fun, and the cars. The average person owns more than one car because I like to say cars happen.
Yes.
And and I'm fortunate. My wife enjoys the hobby as well, and so we have a blast. We're very active. I'm retired. It's like we go to car cruises and eat hamburgers. I mean, that's living the good life.
Huh?
And the donuts from the back of your Helms truck.
And the donuts.
Great shots here.
Yeah, some great shots. We've got a lot of photos of the early days of the Trompers, and a lot of them were taken at El Mirage because that's where you guys would go. You'd go, they'd strip off the fenders if they weren't already off, take off the headlights, and that was how you raced. It really was just strip the car down because the least amount of weight and wind resistance.
And there's the guys laying on the ground there. You can see in the picture.
With the cars blocking them, but and the SCTA logo on the back of that shirt. Now, you guys still go to El Mirage, and you and Rex have also gone to Bonneville a few times.
Yes.
What a deal. Yeah, we've gone probably 3 or 4 times. Al's gone more than I have, but the one year you took the lead sled, and we get to some pictures of the salt flats, and one year I drove my old I got a channeled Roadster, Model A Roadster. What a deal. You know, just nothing like the salt flats there. If you've never been, boy, you got to do that. Put it in your bucket list because that's a thumbs-up event. You know, just the cars, the staging, the beauty of the landscape and so forth. They're just wonderful.
Man, you know, and that is one of those things. We live really very close. I mean, you know, this studio is located, sure, you jump up there in 2 or 3 hours and you're there. And I cannot believe we're talking about at least some of the, you know, the local.
El Mirage, yeah.
Yeah, at least that.
Mirage, yeah.
But, Bonneville's a bit far.
Bonneville's about 12, 13 hours.
We have one of our members, Mike Rickman, whose father was Eric Rickman,
famous photographer
for Hot Rod Magazine for 50 years, something like that. And he's since passed. And his son's a member, Mike, and he's gone to Bonneville since he was a teenager.
Wow.
And he tells some great stories about it. And he's up there every year with us, and we just love it. I got hooked on it. We went the first time, and I've gone every year since. And driven on the salt, not raced, but driven and had fun out there. And Rex, I admire him for his bravery and his. I was telling Bob about one time we were coming back from Bonneville, and we hit a storm, and I was following him in his hot rod, and the whole freeway stopped. We were getting 100-mile-an-hour winds sideways, and he was getting belted with hail. And the semi-truck in front of him, I could barely see it tip over and fall.
Oh.
And so he survived that to tell it, but I admire him for his bravery of driving out there in that hot rod through the storm there.
We didn't miss a beat. It was fun. We do it again.
Hey, that's what hot rods are all about, driving them, not... They're not
looking
shelf
at them.
queens. Yeah, you got to drive them. Now, we've got a picture that we just started to show of the current members in the current cars. And there is a shot of Al's Helms truck.
Yes, that's when we built it. It's a 1933 Divco, Detroit Industrial Vehicle. It's made in America. I've got 16-inch rims on the front, 18s on the back. Those are American racing. And I put a 350 crate engine in it. It's got a flat screen TV.
Yeah.
It's got Sony surround sound, and I got dish cable. I can order the fights that are right from a car show, which I have done, and I've had quite a crowd watching the boxing. I'm a fan of boxing, by the way.
At Pomona, at the Twilight Cruise, you had it set up there.
Yes.
And you had the canopy rolled out, and you guys were in the shade. It was a nice hot August or July night when you were there, and your whole club was there, or not the whole club, but you had about 10, 15 guys from the club there. You were eating, you were carousing, you were listening to the music, you were watching TV, you were having fun, and that's your car ends up being the centerpiece whenever you guys go to a show.
Absolutely. It only takes one person to put out a 6-foot awning, and you just crank it out, and you crank it out, and they will come.
Yeah.
It's funny. Well, Al, I remember Divco's as being I guess it was a later one that would have had sort of a slanted front.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The milk trucks.
The milk trucks.
Right. Yeah. And seeing that. I mean, it's flat. It's like some old streetcar or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, I see this rotting in a guy's yard up the Southwest Indian Museum in Highland Park, and I ended up getting it 6 months later, owning it, and it was a mess. And it took us 2 years to build it. We've been on the road for about four and a half years. I've owned it now, but it's I drive it everywhere, and it spoils me. I got other cars that I show and drive, but this thing kind of spoils you with all the luxury items. And it handles good. You've got rack and pinion power steering, and suspension's good. And,
but the only thing that's still Divco is the body.
Yeah.
I mean, this is totally modernized, but I mean, this car gets so much attention. Now, I believe I'm trying to remember that. I've seen it often. For some reason, I'm going blank on. You've got it in the pretty close to the original cream and blue colors.
I do. It was a yellow and blue, light yellow and blue, and I got the original stickers from a guy.
Yeah.
Once I got the vehicle, I started. When you get a car, you see other ones like it. Mm-hmm. Well, I joined the Divco Club of America, and I got a lot of knowledge.
Yes.
And they made the milk trucks, and most of the milk trucks were back east. And they have conventions. I haven't gone to any because they're back New York way and that way. But really neat trucks. They put big blocks in engines, blowers out the hood of a milk truck, and they modernize them or keep them stock.
And they were a tough vehicle. They had Continental engines, the flatheads at first. Yeah. They were built as a commercial vehicle, so they were made to be a work vehicle. There was no civilian version. You couldn't buy one to drive the family around in. They didn't come with seats. The driver's seat was the only seat, and that was really kind of an option because it was a standing drive, wasn't it?
It was a bicycle seat.
Yeah.
That moved out of the way, and you open the drawers. Now, the Olympic bread was served at the Olympics, and their bread was the first one to go to space as well.
Is that right?
That's right. Helms Bakery put bread in space.
There we go.
Astronaut in the early days.
What do you know? Now, speaking of the stand-up drive, I think some Divcos, and I don't know if this model was available for that, but there really was a stand-up, no seat at all version of this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of those types of vehicles back in that day, because they were delivery vehicles.
Yeah.
And the theory was that you're not supposed to be sitting down anyway. You're delivering. You're getting up and moving. So it was easier to get up and move than it was to sit.
Okay, but did they have enough clearance for people that were 6 feet tall? I mean, how tall were these?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Plenty of room.
I can stand up in it and
wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
stretch at a red light.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's funny. To me, it looks a little smaller than that.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just, I liken it to, it's got a cute factor, like a late 50s Fiat Multipla. That sort of, with the bug eyes and stuff. And
It kind of looks like the cube he drove in here with.
yeah, it does.
Don't tell people that.
All right, now the club meets every Wednesday morning. You guys are still active. You're very active.
Very active. We meet Wednesday morning at Coco's on Figueroa and the cross streets, York, and that's in Highland Park, across from the museum, the old police museum, where they have a lot of interesting things. The LA shootout, the cars are over there, and if you get a chance to visit that museum across from Coco's, that's nice. Also, if you want to see the Helms truck, I'll be giving donuts away on the 23rd of this month to celebrate book signing by Don Zabel, the oldest member of the Trompers, and what a history of automotive history he has and stories to tell. Unbelievable. You show him an old book, an old Hot Rod magazine or something, he'll tell you who owned it and what was what.
And we've got a picture of Don here, and I think his business card with his partner's name on it as well.
Yes.
From when he had a service business.
Huh.
And that's going to come up here. But now you guys put on your car show at Coco's.
Yes, we do, and we also put on a swap meet, and our swap meets are really well known, and it's all automotive stuff. We don't have plastic little car toys and stuff. It's all stuff that these guys bring out of their garages, that they're and then somebody else buys it and they put it in their garage for a while.
Yeah.
But it's neat stuff.
Now, yeah, we're talking about Don Zabel, and here's the page you've got of Don.
There he is.
And I've only known him for a couple of years now when I hang around with your club, and he really doesn't look that much different.
No, he doesn't. He's in good shape.
He didn't change that much, and he's still active. I see him at car shows all over the place.
Yes, wonderful man.
He loves circle track racing. He'll go. He'll go on the weekends out wherever circle track is going on. He'll go watch that.
Yeah, and then looking at the sprint car down at the bottom of this page, Bruce, it's got a Hemi.
Hey!
Yeah.
Stuffed under there just barely.
Can you imagine a sprint car with a Hemi? And this car is state of the art for the time it was built. Notice the safety. Or you didn't see any, did you?
No.
Well, the gas tank is covered.
There's a steering wheel.
Yeah, it's got a steering wheel, and it might have brakes in the rear.
Maybe.
Yeah. But there's not. Yeah, I mean, you look at the racing you guys did at El Mirage, Bonneville at the time, and that's one of the reasons SCTA came about, was to bring safety in and regulation. And you see a lot of that. But your club, again, was part of the beginning of this. A lot of people, and we talk about the grassroots drag racing here on Speed Scene, but it wasn't the drag racing that started the hot rodding. It was El Mirage, it was Bonneville, it was Top Speed Racing, and it wasn't side by side, although Zabel says, yeah, 8 car wide, and I'm sure there were a bunch of those. But today it is about classes and top speed. It's not how quick you get there. There's a flying speed trap that you're going through. You're looking for a top speed. Now, do you have any members that have made the 200-mile-an-hour club?
I don't know if we do. We do have Ken Zapper, who raced oval track, and he also has a speedway, quick change rear ends. He goes all over, and he actually got a contract now. He's working with NASCARs, and their rear ends, selling rear ends to him and stuff. And he's a tromper and very knowledgeable on vehicles, that has award-winning cars that he owns and shows and drives all over the place. I go to Wrightwood with him, and he's not afraid of rock chips or nothing. He's everywhere.
Cars are made to be driven.
Yeah, the trompers do that, and a lot of them are put together in their own garages with a lot of different car parts. And to look at them, you don't know what the heck's going on, because it's a little bit of everything. But it's amazing, and they'll go down the freeway with the big boys anytime. They really roll good.
Yeah, one thing about Don Zabel, his daily driver's an F1 stake bed truck. Yeah. It's got a Merc, it's 276 cubic inch board and stroke Merc motor with 2-pot manifold or 3-pot, something anyway. No, I think he put a Holly on it. He updated to a Holly.
got rid of the controlled leak, Stromberg?
Yeah, the progressive linkage. Yeah. But anyway, at the book signing, one thing we can count on is Don Zabel's memory. The guy has no end of information and trivia from the past, both for trompers and for just basically SCTA, for El Mirage, for all that scene. So great opportunity to catch up on that, because he's going to be there, and he's going to be chock full of information and good stuff.
And if you'd like to find out more about the book signing, and you can go, it's going to be kind of a mini car show. They always have it at the Burbank bookstore. But if you go on Facebook, put in Trompers of Eagle Rock in Burbank, I believe is what it is, and it comes up with the date. That's this Saturday at Auto Books in Burbank, and you never know who you're going to find there. Now, here's the Trompers of Eagle Rock. This is your Facebook page, and that's your club cars today.
Yes.
And you've got hundreds of cars in your club. You fill the back of the Coco restaurant on Wednesday mornings. Your meetings start about, 8:30? 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
I always get there about 7:30.
Officially 9 o'clock. We get together, for breakfast. But officially starts at 9. And we sometimes have guests. We've had Ed Iskandarian. Who else? The guy from Lucas.
Justice Brothers. We get a lot of well-known people that enjoy hanging out with the trompers, and there's such history in our club with some of the guys, old-timers and stuff, and it's just really a pleasure to belong to it, and we just have a lot of fun.
Now, at this book signing, you can get this book This is the book, The Trompers of Eagle Rock. It is going to be at Auto Books of Burbank. You can get a signed copy. It'll be a bit of a car show. You can meet the members. And like I said, you don't know who you're going to meet there, but this book is available at Auto Books in Burbank. Saturday's the time to be there, and you never know. You may see Leno there. You never know who's going to show up. He goes there frequently.
Yeah, he does.
He frequents that bookstore sometimes just before he tapes his shows, but on the weekends he's known to go in there. He takes a different car out of his many collection and drives them, and he can show up at the bookstore. He may only be there for a short time, but he always comes out to the car shows, the cruise nights and so forth here. And you've got a picture of him with you, Al, at one of your events.
Yes, he always likes to get with me when he sees me.
Does he? Sandy, does that bother you much?
I told him I was friends with Rex one time, and I says, "Can my buddy take a picture with you?" He goes, "Oh, sure. How long you guys been together?"
Easy now.
That Jay, something else. I'll tell you.
Yes, he is.
Hey, so let's get some dates here. When's the book signing? When's it all happening here?
The 23rd of this month, November, at 9 a.m. That's where the book signing is going to be, and we'll have books available for sale. And also that bookstore has all kinds of automotive and air.
Yeah.
So if you like airplanes and cars and stuff that goes fast, and you want to read about it and learn about it, that's the store to go to.
Yeah, Auto Books in Burbank on Magnolia.
Right. They also have free donuts.
It's from the Helms truck.
If you don't read but you eat, show up and you get a free donut.
And you don't read, but you eat.
You don't have to be a cop to have a donut.
Oh, you don't?
No. See?
Hey, we're all good then.
Yeah, we're all good. We're all good.
Some of the trombers are cops.
Some of them are, yeah.
You'll notice they eat the most donuts.
Yeah. And if they're not, they know a few on a first name basis because of all the red lights they see in the rearview mirror.
Oh, man. Hey, you know what? We'll get these dates again before the show is over, but it's great to talk to you guys and learn all about some really serious history in terms of hot rodding, especially out on the lakes. And
and like you said, a lot of your club members have multiple cars. Al, you've got the Ford convertible, the light sled.
I've got a 36 Ford with a 427 Corvette big block in it with two 4-barrels, and it's got air ride technology.
Beats everyone to the gas station.
It's real pretty. And I've got a 50 Ford.
Yeah, that's a
5.0, and that's a chopped louvered and Frenched, and the trunk's been flipped to be a rumble seat. And then I've got a 1965 Chevy truck. I pull a 58 trailer with it. And Rex here, tell him what you got.
Well,
He's got it.
Do motorcycles
Tell
count?
them.
Okay, now, actually, I started, after the kids were out of the house and so forth, started back with a 1930 Ford, basically a channel roadster. Some people call it a rat rod, but actually it's got some history. The body was actually used by a car club up north and raced on drag strips up there. Got the 1930 Ford. It's got running a small block Chevy 327. My wonderful bride, my patient wife, has a 1957 Ford Thunderbird. It's all stock. She loves driving. She loves the attention. Hi, honey.
Yeah.
She does her best imitation of Susan Summers in American Graffiti.
Well, she tried.
Yeah.
But she's more beautiful than her. Points.
Nice.
Wait till you get home.
We got
tonight.
a Metro, an old Metro. We put a Chevy 2 4-cylinder in it. Very interesting, and it's got air conditioning. We're on the verge of selling that one. And let's see, what have I missed? 39 Ford.
Yeah,
all
you can't miss that one.
TJ.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And you had it at the big roadster show.
Yeah,
the Grand Nationals this last year.
Beautiful car.
It's quite interesting. You know, the chrome, the paint, the upholstery, all done in TJ. Interesting story. Too long for this event, but anyway, that's my cars.
Man, you know
our cars.
You can tell them at the bookstore.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, tell the story at the bookstore. It's proof again that there's way too many cars and not enough time to experience them all. And of course, Rex, when you say it was down in TJ, that would be for those who aren't local Tijuana. Do they still do upholstery there?
Yes,
absolutely.
It's been so long since I headed south of the border.
Oh yeah, right. As you go across the border, there's the upholstery shops in a row.
Huh. What do you know?
You can get that tuck and roll. And he's got white tuck and roll with a light metallic blue paint job. It's even got tuck and roll on the running boards.
That's right.
Semi-custom.
All right, guys, well, hang tight. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back. Lots more video to go. You know, we'll never get this all in.
No.
Same old scenario at Speed
It's fun, though.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Okay.
MNH Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. MNH Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to MNHTires.com. That's MANDH Tires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, MNHTires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. MNH Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you, slicks or DOT. MNH Tires has it all. MNH were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary MNH Tires. Shop online. Mention the Speed Scene and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to MANDHTires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. MNHTires.com.
Everyone in the armed forces that has served to defend our great country and our freedom. All of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
This is Stormy Bird, the driver of the Revelation Modified Fuel Roadster, and when I'm not drag racing, I'm watching Speed Scene Live, always with Diana and Lucky Scott.
Welcome back to more of Speed Scene Live, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, MNH Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, and TheFoat.com.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another Tuesday night, as Diana Might always says. I have to say it, she's not here. I am Alex the Cargirl Roggio. We've got Bob Beck to my left. Of course, Bruce Barker to my front.
I know.
As we could say, right?
I guess.
Over in the far corner in the middle of the studio.
I know. I feel like I should be, hey.
Yeah.
We're in our corner, and in your corner, I don't even know how
That's right. And let's get ready to rumble.
Let's.
Wait a minute, where's the round signs? Alex has to walk around with a round sign now.
That's right. Which round is this, though? No,
I don't know. We're always in circles.
3?
Okay. It might be round 3.
Yeah.
We're always in circles. We're drag racers. It's supposed to be all in straight lines. I don't get it.
Yes.
It was that story about the guys, sleeping in the cars, driving with the headlights on.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, here's Alex Roggio at, this was Las Vegas again, right?
This is Las Vegas. I'm wearing the same shirt I am now. Don't let anybody pay attention to that.
I'm sure it's been washed.
Yes, it has. I have 6 of them. To my left, to my left is a wonderful man named Bill McKnight. He works for Molly Clevite. To his left is Hector Arana, the one and only.
Yes.
I had a chance to be introduced to almost all of the pro drivers at the Las Vegas National Race. There's Adam Arana, Vincent Obeil's behind him. I mean, it was just celebrity drag racing heaven for me. That's V Gaines, of course, Mopar Pro Stock driver, Alan Johnson. I mean, it was...
Dang, you did meet everybody.
It was like a blast. Like, everyone's all in the same place. They do the thing just before the driver introduction. Everyone's backstage behind the mellow yellow stage thing before they start the race. And Clay Millican, of course, Johnny Gray, his second last race race of his career, driving a funny car. So yeah, he's retiring.
So he's just hanging it up. It's not like a loss of sponsorship.
No. Oh no.
Yeah.
He's got all he needs, but he just feels he doesn't. He's got to move on to other things, I guess. I don't know. Del Worsham, an amazing guy, crew chief and driver. Robert Height, really, really, and all these drivers are just so nice. I mean, Alexis DeJoria, funny story about her. She was standing right there, and on the loudspeaker, her dad, John DeJoria, came on and started talking, and she just stops talking to me for a second and goes, "Oh my God, my dad's talking," like still embarrassed by her dad at 35 years old or however old she is.
Jeez.
Millionaires. Vincent Nobile, of course, driver of the Mountain View Tire Pro Stock team.
Oh, there's
my shirt again.
Yes.
Gotta show the Magnum every time I can.
That's right, man.
And, of course, Frank Manzo. This is a shot from Pomona.
Oh, yeah. He's another good driver that's retiring.
Exactly. But, his career has been one that, we could all look up to. I think 42 final wins of his career. I mean, possibly the most successful drag racer.
And for those of you who may not be familiar with him, he drives a double B or an alcohol funny car.
Right. Yes, in the Lucas Oil series. That's Bob Lambeck and I. I'm not sure if you guys know Bob Lambeck, but he's a pro stock racer from a few years ago. Him and his son still race all the time in the Comp Eliminator. Of course, Mountain View Tire. It's so cool watching these cars from the starting line. I tell you what,
it's the place to be. I occasionally I have to sit in the stands when I'm not working at a race, and I go to them anyway, and it's just not the same. You don't have the same feeling.
No,
we're so being in racing like we are. We get to be on the starting line. We get to be on the track surfaces, and when you sit in the stand after you've been working at a race, it's quite a different feeling.
Oh, yeah. It's a totally different experience.
And keeping me quiet in the stands is tough.
You want to still commentate.
Keep talking, yes.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, what do we got here? Some underside mechanicals.
Yeah, this is just a shot to show everyone how amazing Hedman headers look after, this has been just about a year ago in September these were installed, and look at how amazing they still look.
Holy we drove cross country with them.
Drove cross country. We've had hundreds of drag passes on them.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Back and forth from Vegas to LA. I mean,
Wow, Chris Vandergriff, who was in the studio last week, he would be proud.
Yes.
I mean, that guy is. I had the pleasure of meeting with him at SEMA and spending time with him and his whole crew in the Hedman booth signing autographs, which was a blast, by the way. And it's just really, I'm honored to be part of the Hedman family. It's fun. This is, of course, one of my many duties during a race weekend is handing out the #1 qualifier awards with my Liquid Glow car care products, and that's Mel Roth on stage, president of Pacific Streetcar Association. We hand out the #1s just before the race starts. I run back to the pit, get my suit on, get in the car, race, get back out of the car, warm up, sing. It's a crazy day.
Dang.
And that's just a little
typical race.
Yeah.
Wow, it's you are I think they used to call this back in the 40s. You are a working girl. It's you don't hang around.
No, I don't. I'm no slouch. But it's obviously I don't do it on my own. My crew chief and partner Richard is obviously a huge help to me. I couldn't ask for a better guy. I know you're watching.
No, he's watching now.
He couldn't be here tonight.
There you go. The last time he was here, he did a burnout.
Oh yeah.
Oh hey.
He's that kind of guy.
We won't give him too much of a hard time about that. That's right.
Hey, so we're looking at now. This is kind of our final. We had a big group of photos that that he was kind enough to send over, and what are we looking at now?
This is SEMA. We got to attend one of the many breakfast seminar meetings, and this happened earlier in the week. They give awards every SEMA to hottest truck, hottest SUV, hottest sport compact sort of thing, and one of those guys in there is Ralph Gilles, president of Mopar, and they won an award at SEMA. I was able to attend their press conference. That's a photo of me in the Hedman booth holding my beautiful helmet painted by Coacher that was done just for SEMA, and I couldn't believe it when I took it out of the box when they shipped it to me. I was amazed. You can't see it in the photo here, but it's like the details and the metallic flake is just so, and it does look sort of pink, but it's mostly purple. I can't even.
It almost looks like it needs batteries to run.
It's that cool.
You put some wheels on it, and
I know. Mark Lewis, you guys may know him from Hedman.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a nice.
Hey, who's that?
Uh-oh.
This is just another modeling shot that we have. We did a shoot for one of our marketing partners for a flyer. I won't say who yet because it's not out yet.
Okay, not out yet. Now,
we'll
of course,
see.
there you are in half the fire suit, sort of like as we started the show, as we're getting ready to close here in just another 5 minutes or so, as we started the show, you singing in, the bottom half of the fire suit. So I'm just bringing this
Similar.
around full circle.
Very good.
Yeah.
John Hotchkiss, of course. They just came out with a brand new suspension kit for the new Dodge Dart, which I think is a market that's kind of being it needs more attention. I like the Dodge Dart. This is a photo from the Mopar press conference that happens at SEMA. Man, it's cool to be a part of all this stuff.
I know,
I'm
yeah,
super
because you
lucky.
drive one of these.
Yeah.
And people talk about how much they want to go to SEMA and how hard it is to get into, and we're all lucky. Okay, this is insane. This guy, Steve Magnati, he got a tattoo. That's a real tattoo of
that's
Scat Pack.
Oh.
Just before, the night before this
It's
photo
still
was
shining,
taken.
yeah.
He got a real tattoo just for the press conference.
Wow,
It's kind of like
He's
that.
a cool guy, though. You may see him on Barrett Jackson.
Barrett Jackson, yes.
Yeah, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, he's on there all the time.
And there
Really
you
cool
are in the
guy that's
Hedman
from
Headers
Mopar Max.
booth.
Yes, Hedman Headers. Lots of people came by. Got to meet a whole bunch of people, talk about Hedman, the race car, of course, Speed Scene Live.
Yeah, that's right. Man, look at that. SEMA's such a candy store.
Oh, it's great.
There's
ridiculous.
You're a
way
current
too much to
enthusiast.
look at. It's insane.
Yes.
You'll never see it all in one day.
I know.
No, it doesn't. You can't see it. It's in two different buildings. You actually have to take a bus to part of it.
Yes, there's Apex, which is on the other side of the strip, and then there's SEMA, which is at the Las Vegas Convention Center, which has 3 halls, which take miles to get to. I mean, your feet hurt so bad at the end of it. It's insane.
If you wanted to run a marathon and train, the place to go is SEMA.
Yeah. All right. So,
You
boy,
better-
it's all about sort of cross promotion, and that's a perfect one. I never would have thought of that, Bob.
Yes, you would have.
Oh,
No,
it's
yes,
the ultimate place for networking.
definitely
That's
that.
what I think.
I've been going, since way back before you were born.
19-something.
70-something, and back in the days. But here's that shot of your car again, leaving the line, picking the wheels up.
Man.
Just brush my teeth, I can't do a thing with them.
And just to let everyone know, we ended up making it to 3rd round of the Bracket 1 class, which is completely unlimited electronics. So I got to race Dustin Lee in his 7.5-second dragster.
Yeah,
Which you
Dustin's
can
a
imagine
little tough.
It's a little tough, but we were having a little bit of traction issues. So we spun off the line, and of course, when you spin, you can't run your dial. So
Yep.
know.
Losing Dustin Lee isn't that bad. He's been driving since he's 10 years old.
I believe it.
He started out one of the first junior dragsters.
Really?
His dad was the driving instructor at LACR and a SCIDA, or Southern California Econo dragster driver. And Dustin builds motors. He's an engine builder.
That I knew.
And Erica Enders, the lady who's in Pro Stock, he built her junior dragster motors.
Wow,
back
I
in the
did
day.
not know. I need to.
He makes some. He gets 25 horsepower out of a single cylinder originally a 5 horsepower Briggs motor.
Wow, I didn't know he was old enough to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like he's older than me.
It's almost like putting a
he's
Speed
not.
Scene Live sticker on a car.
Horsepower.
I know, yeah.
That's it. All right, you had a couple of members in the Trompers that you wanted to talk about, the Macias brothers.
Yeah, we had the opportunity to go to Eddie Mencia's garage way back in the day, and he's got a 2-engine dragster. Believe this or not, still flathead,
Dang.
overhead conversion. And so we had the opportunity to see that and some other cars that he had there. His son is still an active tromper of the active member of the Trompers. Eddie Sr. passed away about 3 years ago now. So we have a great time, when we had the opportunity to go to the garage and visit that. So
And you had a few other guys that have been doing some other things. You got one guy that does hill climbs.
hill climbs, that'd be Raleigh, one of our members. He's got a 5-window Model A coupe.
Little yellow coupe.
And he's got an overhead. That's got an overhead conversion. He's got
4-cylinder though.
Yes.
Huh. That is an old Ford 4-cylinder with an overhead conversion.
Now, a lot of people can't relate to hill climb. I've seen a few, but just to put it in perspective, his car is high 15s, low 16s for a 4-banger, a 4-cylinder.
Going uphill.
Well, no, no,
not quite. Okay,
close to 90 and a quarter miles. So just to give some perspective.
Downhill with a swift tailwind. All right, I guess we're coming up on the close of tonight's episode.
I can't believe it. Yeah. Hey, Al, one more time, the book signing. What's going on?
It's the 23rd, 9 a.m.
Okay.
It's in Burbank, and it's the Auto
Bookstore.
Bookstore. Yeah. And Don Zabel, our most famous tromper.
The most senior.
Early 90s, who we all love and cherish, and I have a hard time keeping up with him, and everybody does.
His walker's got 200 horsepower.
Yeah.
He'll be there putting his X on your butt.
On your butt, yeah.
Nice.
Alex, where are you going to be this weekend?
This weekend I'm going to be at the Magnuson Cars and Coffee, I believe. It's at the facility in Ventura. It's an awesome car show. It starts at 8 o'clock. Same day as yours, so sorry. That sucks. But
all right, then I'm going to be down at the Good Guys in Del Mar Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm going to sneak up to the NHRA Motorsports Museum, and I'll be the MC of the roundtable discussion with the panel of past history makers, including John Force.
oh boy, that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, we'll have
funny,
Force and Ivo and Perdome, McEwen, and there's 4 or 5 others we're going to have on the panel Saturday at the OCIR reunion at the NHRA Motorsports Museum.
Man, bring a lasso, cowboy. You're going to have to hog tie those fellas.
Oh yeah, it's going to be
kidding.
fun.
Woo! Hey, Alex, good to see you again.
Great to be back. Thank you for having me.
And you as well, Bob.
Thank you very much.
Al, Rex, man, great to see you guys in studio. Love to catch that history about the Trompers. Hey, one more question. Where can people, if they can't attend the signing, where do you get the book?
Well, probably the best place is to, we're going to have some swap meets coming up this next year, and we'll try to have adequate supply there.
Will a lot of books be selling them as well?
A Wednesday morning breakfast, Coco's.
Yes, Coco, be there.
There'll be books there, and everybody wants to come down and hang out with us. We talk automotive stuff, upcoming events, and tell stories. It's really nice.
Okay, so, and it's probably a good thing to, keep up to date on the Trompers Facebook page as well. So, there you go. We got you covered. Hey, coming up next is the encore presentation of tonight's show, because we're just like totally out of, time for the live stuff. I know, it disappeared. Cloud of smoke, that sort of thing. So, that's what's coming up next. Be sure to join us again next week right here at Speed Scene Live for tonight and for now from all of us here at Speed Scene Live. Have a great evening, everybody.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, MNH Tires, and TheFoe.com.